Hello, this is Emily, she, her.
And atul, he, him. And we're going to start off with just the questions from this section. What have you learned about practices anchored in collective healing and centering, and how you incorporate these in your life? What have you learned from the marine mammals? All right. Do you want to start us off, Emma?
Yeah, um, I've learned so much from these practices, from this book, from my grandmother's hands. I think that I was just telling you Atul earlier that I've had like a really, really busy 2 weeks, and the page like 141, the humming, rocking, belly breathing, oming, chanting. I've been like really doing those practices in between my really busy schedule. It's particularly like right before I eat, which has been really, really helpful because I can now notice when I'm in sympathetic and when I'm trying to get out the door, um, and how to down regulate. That's just one example. And so I feel like my integration is really deepening with these practices and with my connection to where my body's at. And it's like so exciting to be like, wow, cool. I can feel my nervous system like feel like it's ready to go. And then it's like, okay, how can I support myself to like let me know that I'm going to be driving now? So like, I want to come back into more of a restorative state. Or like a conversation with my mom. It's like, how can I come into like a calm, centered place, connecting with my soul nerve in order to like have a more um, connected and grounding conversation with someone that can bring a lot of activation to me. We activate each other a lot. So it's just been so, so helpful.
Really great to hear. It's been helpful in terms of those activating situations of talking to your mom or when you're stressed of getting from one place to another. And
Mhm.
it's nothing better than to be calm when you want to nourish your body. So I'm glad that this book has helped you in that.
Yeah.
Mm. I too have really learned a lot from these chapters, especially mannequins has I think been my favorite part so far of this class.
Mhm.
It's just the way the concept have been all put together in terms of how you can stay attuned to your body in those times of activation. And for me, that's been like from the smallest things of getting to the airport, following directions, and making sure I'm not going to mess up, and noticing like my jaw getting activated and tensed up, and taking those belly breaths
Mhm.
to help me notice what's going on with my body, to more activating situations of talking with my father-in-law. There's some tension there, and being able, the way that the book described of, following through and not getting stuck in additional trauma when things are
Mhm.
activated, to actually go through and follow through that trauma, and so that you don't get more additional trauma stuck in your body.
Mhm.
And so that's been like super helpful. I think a growth point for me is to, before I get activated, to start the belly breathing
Mhm.
and or whatever mm, thing or mannequin's techniques, either the humming or the chanting or the belly rubs,
Mhm.
um, to do that right before the tense moment. I tend
Mhm.
to do it like when I'm already slightly activated or activated, and more of a restorative process. So I think that's the place I wanna try to take it next. But yeah, this has
Yeah.
been, I think, really cool to stay attuned to my body and release any um, kind of that flight freeze response, how to keep my nervous system calm. And I think going to be really critical as start talking to clients. We only have like 15 minutes between sessions and need to, if I'm activated at all, to one, stay present in the moment while, and so don't get activated. And then two, if there's any um, to release having those tools available. I think the one thing which I really liked was that the anchor five, like there's those five anchors, and
Hmm.
the last anchor of releasing that energy just as animals and wriggling it away. And I've done that a couple of times, and this has been like
Hmm.
I feel so much grounded and in my body after doing that. Like it's released all that nervous energy.
Hmm. Yeah, I love all of this, and I like tying it to the collective healing and centering like the way that Menachem it just continues to, it's like it's individual is collective, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
collective is individual, and this like it feels like so empowering to be like, oh, awesome, I like don't have to go change my mom. I can
Mm-hmm.
just change like me, and I can change
Mm-hmm.
how I'm showing up to it. And it's like how, again, just like how am I supporting myself to go
Mm-hmm.
into any situation, to go into any conversation. Um and yeah, the last anchor of like the wiggling or like the dancing, I've also been doing that, and it's like it doesn't really take that much extra time. Like it's just it's so accessible,
Mm-hmm.
which is like blowing my mind because I think, and it's like, can this be broadcasted like to everyone everywhere? Like this book, like I feel
Mm-hmm.
that really strongly because it's like
Mm-hmm.
it just does feel so accessible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that something on my mind, I lost it. But yeah, I think it's really cool tools. And I think the other thing that now I came back to me is like what you said about you can go to any situation. It's increasing the tolerance, increasing
Hmm.
what you made you when you said that is like reminded me of one of my other things I'm trying to pursue, increasing my tolerance for
Hmm.
whatever is around me, my relationships, the environment.
Yeah.
So instead of my default was forget it, I'm not going to do that, or I don't want to engage with that person. I don't want to be around that person.
Hmm.
Like it's
Totally.
changing my mindset to like, okay, let them be how they are. I'm going to increase my tolerance for whatever they have to give me, right?
Hmm.
Rather than the other way
Yeah.
around.
Like, what do I need in order to step into this
Mm-hmm.
really hard conversation, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like, and then bringing in like requesting, like, we can request to
Mm-hmm.
people, and it's like, and they can say no. And I think, like, again, it just feels really, really individual, but not in the sense of like, it's just me and like, I'm just gonna be alone. It's like, it's just the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility, like the ownership
Mm-hmm.
um, of oneself in order to connect, which is like what we want, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like we just want to be seen, heard, understood,
Right.
um, and what Menachem was saying, like you don't fight this with
Mm-hmm.
like more hostility and pain. It's like bringing in like the soul nerve, like you meet it, and
Mm-hmm.
you like, which is really hard because a lot of stuff it's like it feels like you need to like fight and like fight back and versus,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like just unlearning all of that that
Mm-hmm.
we've somehow, yeah, that we've like got, that we've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is all about connection. It's just like one way to another tool for us to be able to connect with people.
Hmm. But if we can't connect with ourselves, like,
Mm,
you know, it's really hard to connect with others, or yeah, the expectations are like really skewed, you know.
mhm, yeah. I was just looking at time. I think we're 10 minutes here.
Okay,
Was there
let's stop
anything else that you
recording.
wanted to share?
Mm, just like how I'm just so grateful for it.
Mm,
Um,
yeah.
and even the managing stress versus it's like the reframe. It's like the reminders of like, yeah, there is stress and like how can we manage it versus like I don't want to
Mhm,
feel stressed. I just want to feel like really calm and centered and it's
mhm,
like it just feels very human and like real and like real life
mhm.
practices.
Yeah, yeah. Increasing your tolerance for stress.
Yeah. Anything you want to end with?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.